Workaholicism is real, and it is a real problem that you are likely to run into when you have ADHD and you want to be productive, you want to be successful, you're ambitious, you're going to run into this. So yes, no, workaholicism is a real thing. It works just like any other addiction. You can become addicted to working. Even though we typically have a negative association with work, it's like, oh, well, why would you become addicted to working? It's not like these other things that give you some sort of stimulation and dopamine in return. It's just boring work, right? But really, addiction is a lot more than just that. It also stems into identity. Typically, people will become addicted to something because they basically just don't believe they can be any better than that thing. And when you have workaholicism, what's going on in your identity is that you basically see yourself as a success machine. And you are basically telling yourself or believe on some level that this is who I am, this is what I am, I'm a success machine, I'm not really human, I just exist to output and to become successful. And then there's a pretty bad feedback loop where if you do this, then a lot of people will tend to praise you, and that makes you feel good, and so then you just keep doing this. A lot of gifted kids have this, and a lot of people with ADHD are gifted kids. So if you're the person who got all A's, maybe a few B's, and you freaked out about it and struggled with that, then you might have this. This applies to school too, right? It's the way this happens is that you need to get something done. You have an identity that is tied to you being successful, you being good enough. And so then you get really upset and defend that identity by working way harder than everybody else, even to the point of burnout, and then you just keep going. And this right here is stimulating. This is something that people don't talk about. Suffering is stimulating. You can actually get addicted to suffering. It's called masochism. And in some contexts, it's useful, but this isn't useful. If you get addicted to work, if you get addicted to success, if you get addicted to constantly pushing forward, you lose out on a lot. And it actually hinders your ability to become successful. You'll get a lot in return, but you'll lose out on the really important stuff in life, like really good connections with people, quality connections, quality time with people that you love. You'll also lose out on a depth of quality of experiences, because in order to actually see clearly, in order to enjoy and be truly mindful, you can't be worrying about work. And if you have workaholicism, you are always worrying about work. What am I going to do next? How am I going to get this done? And people with workaholicism, it's the same thing. They will literally sneak around behind their family to crack out their laptop and do more work. You're literally sneaking around and doing it behind people's back when they want you and need you to be present. And I'll tell you guys, I've had this. I was a workaholic. I still am. I'm trying my best. I'm using all the skills in the book to try and slow down, to try and have a more peaceful productivity. But I still sometimes fall into this, where I'll push myself just because I love how it feels to push myself, because I have some sort of identity where it's when I'm anxious, when I'm stressed, when I'm freaking out, instead of going into flight mode, I go into fight mode. And that's kind of how you can think about workaholicism, is you are in fight mode. But being in flight or fight mode is not helpful. Both of them are bad. The loathsome man of inaction and the workaholic are both suffering. And some people bounce between both of them back and forth. In fact, a lot of workaholics will, because what they've done is they've basically created this traumatic relationship with work, which they're addicted to. And when you have ADHD, you're more prone to addiction. So if you start to get some hits of success, you are prone to this, don't let that stop you, but just understand this going into it. This can happen. And you need to learn how to protect your peace. Because if you don't protect your peace, if you are just constantly in fight mode, then what's going to happen is you're not going to make clear decisions. You're going to have literal gold sitting in a pile over here, and you're going to ignore it just to keep pushing towards some menial task. And a lot of workaholics are busy, and being busy is not the same as being productive. Being busy is you have a lot of crap on your list, and you're just doing a bunch of nonsense. And when you have ADHD, this is often worse because you're scatterbrained. So you'll get lost and scattered and zoom around, ping, 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 ping. And a lot of people with ADHD, they've learned, the only way I'm going to move forward at all is if I try my absolute hardest and scatterbrain around. but that's not productive, because productivity is getting closer to living the life you want. How can I live the life I want? How do I get there? That's what productivity is. That's what self-improvement is. You're trying to actively build and manifest the life that you want to live. And tell me, do you want to be busy? Do you want to not be able to have like quality reflective time? And that's another thing, is being a workaholic, I'm just going to be straight up with you. It hurts your intelligence. Your intelligence goes down because you actually need rest to consolidate ideas and to have novel and witty ideas. Like, that's when it's best. That's when your default mode network is in a healthy state. When you're chill, when you're relaxing, that's when the really good ideas come. That's when the clarity about your life comes. And strategy is all about clarity and valuable ideas that increase your leverage over your current situation. You don't want to be working on this task that just like keeps you afloat. You want to figure out a way to do all those tasks, maybe in a day or something, so then you don't have to worry about them anymore. And then with the rest of the clear, free time you have, just start pondering, okay, how am I going to get myself out of this mess? And then come up with a plan, and then pick days where you're going to work on that plan, and then don't stop working on that plan until it's done. Don't pick up other things. A lot of workaholics want to pick up like 4 different things they're going to work on. Like, no, focus is when you have one thing. So you're going to work on that one thing until it is done. You're going to solve one problem until it's done. And then when it's done, guess what? Boom, 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 boom. You just moved up in life. You just made your life easier. Now you can add something else. So being a workaholic is unproductive. It really is. It's unproductive. And I need to taste of my own medicine. So I'm making this video. I've gotten a little better, but I'll slip back into it sometimes. That's another thing, is like when you're in the workaholic mode, it's like your brain is basically shutting down a ton of parts, where it's like it's stressed, it's fight or flight. You're not thinking clearly, you're just moving, and you're basically in a flow. And so it takes resistance to get you out of that flow. Like when you are a workaholic, the resistance is no longer, oh, I need to go do the work. The resistance is, I need to stop working and I need to let things burn in the background, where it's like I've built up this unsustainable life of me needing to work to get things done, needing to work to pay my bills, needing to do XYZ. But you need to get to the point where you say, okay, something's going to take a hit, something's going to burn in the background, something's going to fall apart, and I have to be okay with that. And then with the free time that you get from letting that thing burn, you need to rest up, recover, and then solve the problem to get yourself to a better place where you're not having to work so much. And there is an answer, there is a solution. You just need to sit down with yourself and just work on that and that alone. But it's going to mean that the floor doesn't get swept. It's going to mean that this doesn't happen. It's going to mean that this doesn't get paid for. It's going to mean, like, that's all it is. You're just going to have to make a sacrifice to get out. And guess what? If you can't do this, then resistance is beating you up. It's literally robbing you. And you're probably never going to find the type of success you actually want. And as a workaholic, like if you really think you're a success machine, you could be a little bit more ambitious. You could be ambitious enough to say, yeah, maybe I am a success machine. But what success looks like to me is having peace while I'm working. But I don't recommend telling yourself you're a success machine. You're not. You're a human. Guess what? Humans are actually the most unpredictable, unproductive things in the world. In fact, we're so unproductive that literally everything we do productive-wise is offloading to something else or someone else. That's how you grow in power. Because guess what? Your human system is so fragile and so unable. You can't. Humans putter about, we get distracted, especially if you have ADHD. It's like, you're not that guy, pal. Make somebody else or make something else do it for you as much as possible. Create systems that reduce the cognitive overhead, so you don't even have to think about the next step. You're just going down the checklist, or you're going down the next part in the process flow, or you're writing a devlog so you can external your thoughts and as you're working on this project, and then you get more clarity. Like these things, self-evaluation system, like these things. This is where the money's at. But then if you fill your life to the brim with these, that's not going to work either. So it's about picking what matters most. And I want to say something really interesting. There are actually 2 types of workaholics. So type 1 is stressed out, freaking out, tweaking out, constantly feel like they're screwed. Like they're motivated by fear and pressure and I'm not good enough. Type 2 workaholics. These are the anti-neurotic people who live to be 120 and they don't stop moving until they die. And they are just full of hope and they just don't stop working and they just love working. They just have great work ethic. And they are both addicted, the same the stuff is going on in their mind, but these people are actually healthier than all their peers and non-workaholic peers. Where it's like they're happier, they're healthier, they have better blood pressure, they live longer. Like, guys, humans were designed to be doing something purposeful that we enjoy. Your mental health is gonna like skyrocket, go up through the roof if that's what's going on, if you have something important and purposeful that you enjoy that you work on. But it cannot consume your life. It cannot be all that you are. Because that's another thing, is if you're only focused and you never cover for anything else in your life, if you only have focus, then guess what? You don't have enough general prongs going out to learn anything and to have better ideas and to sort of cover where you're at. And then it's like you're living in a house of cards if you have literally nothing else going on other than work. This is good. Like, this is actually good. So what I recommend when you have workaholicism, like you have this drive, this internal fire, this like intensity in you that other people do not, and that's cool. That's fine. In fact, I want more people to harbor that in life. I want people to grow into that. But that has to also come with, like, you have to bring that intensity to rest, to play. Like, just bring that intensity also to rest and play. Work hard, rest hard, play hard. Just be intense everywhere. Be holistically intense. Don't just like veg out and watch Netflix all day, or for a few minutes here or there, or like scroll mindlessly on shorts. It's like, go do some meditation. Go take a cold plunge. Do both of those in the same day. Go get a massage. Go for like a 4-hour walk with your dog. And just think about things. Pray. Work hard, rest hard, play hard. That's the strat. And build barriers so that you're safe doing all of these and they're not going to get interrupted by each other. Eliminate deadlines from your life. That's a huge one. Or if you can't eliminate deadlines from your life, do everything with the deadline first. Make it the priority. Set the rest of the week. You don't have to think about it. I didn't get to cover everything today. I'll make more videos later, but thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. That's actually the most important stat. I'm very grateful for that. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share this with a workaholic friend who might need it, but do all the things that juice up the algorithm so this gets pushed to more people who might need it. And as always, thank you. Take a break, man.